if we are at an impasse in Washington on the broader fiscal issues, what we can't do is use that as an excuse to do nothing to help the middle class, to grow the economy, to create jobs. Let's take the president's offer yesterday as a perfect example. Republicans yesterday adopted this new position, some of them, saying that they will only do corporate tax reform linked to individual tax reform. Here's the problem. Is the president believes, and Senate Democrats believe, and even some Senate Republicans believe, if you're going to do individual tax reform, you should take some of the money from closing the loopholes that benefit the wealthy and use it to reduce the deficit. The current position of most Republicans, including the leadership in the Senate and the House, is take all of the money from closing loopholes and return it to the wealthy in additional tax cuts. If the Republican position is stands by that position, is unwilling to compromise there, and corporate tax reform has to come with individual tax reform, then corporate tax reform will never get done, because that tax plan will never happen. So what the president's proposing is an alternative path here, which is let's do corporate tax reform on its own, if and only if it comes with a significant investment in a middle class initiative like infrastructure, like investor community college. So what we're trying to do is find a path forward here.
Sure. I just want to emphasize what Dan said, that we've done lots of consultation. We've talked with business leaders, nonprofit leaders. We've made very clear at each stage that the president's offer for a larger pro-growth fiscal package is still on the table. He has shown enormous political courage in putting out very difficult details that are what's necessary for both sides to come together if there's a caucus of common sense. And there is an openness to having those discussions at all times by this president and by his economic team in White House. So really, as Dan said, we're just saying is that if we're having an impasse there, that doesn't mean we're less committed. It just means that we need to look for every avenue possible to make progress for middle class jobs and strengthening the economy.
Let me just say one more thing on this. Sorry, and you can see this in the president's speech in Illinois last week. Look, he has an offer on the table. He has spent hours and hours and hours meeting with Speaker Boehner over the years, meeting with Republicans, meeting with Democrats to try to get a big fiscal deal. And if Republicans were willing to get something done, he'd do it tomorrow. But he also believes that the terms of the debate in this town have been missing the point in a lot of ways. As he said in the speech in Illinois, the question that everyone debates in Washington is not what can we do for the middle class, it's what can the middle class do without as part of a fiscal discussion. And that discussion is so detached from the reality of what people are talking about around their kitchen tables in the country, what's actually affecting people's lives. If you, as the president did throughout the campaign, travel the country, meet with people, where, they are talking about how they're going to send their kids to college, how they're going to save for retirement, how they're going to get their house from being underwater. And that is 98% of what people around the country are talking about. And for too long, it's been 2% of what people were talking about in Washington.